It appears that we were at 5 seconds perpetually away from showtime. I am none other than Batman, played by all of the Batmen. I am Batman. You know, just now that reminded me of GPS. You ever drive down the freeway with your GPS and it says you're 11 minutes away from your destination, and you're 11 minutes away from your destination for at least 43 minutes. Have you ever done that before? It's no fun. Here, where's... Hang on a second. Nope. 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 Oh! I disappeared. That's much better. I'm much more engaging when I'm larger. Am I larger, or am I just closer to the camera? Is it real, or is it Batmemorex? It's me. Yes. Welcome back to the Aristotle Full Throttle Show. It is Monday, where we will be talking. I wonder if I had a dueling conversation with, say, Jeff Goldblum, what that would be like. What would that be like? Ah! Is that Loki? I have burdened you with glorious purpose. My mouth is agape. Loki, what are you doing in the DC universe? I am a variant. I could be anywhere. I'm over here now. I'm over here. Look, what? Whoop. Whoop. I'm over here. Whoop. Loki, quit playing these games. I can't help but play these games. I am the god of mischief. I don't find any of this funny. What about this? Whoop. 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 No. Whoop. No, I don't find that funny. Whoop. Try again. Whoop. Not this time. Woo. You think you're a clever guy, don't you? Yes. Well, I'm Batman, and you can't outsmart me. Bah! You just scared me. You just snuck up on me like that. How did you manage doing that? I am the god of mischief. Mischief. I'm also kind of dark. Let's brighten me up. And let's unload that image. Hey. Filters. Let's just do one of these. Color key. Color luma key. Color luma key. Color luma key. Color key. Yeah. Woo! That's a bingo. Whoa, Loki, you're changing color and shape. Loki, you fooled me for the last time. Have I? Whoop! Bah! Hello and welcome to the Aristotle Full Throttle Show. I am the Aristotle Full Throttle that I was just talking about by mentioning Aristotle Full Throttle. Welcome to the show. Happy Monday, everybody. Sorry, sadly, there's no new intro today. Okay, I'm just gonna get right to not getting to it. There's no intro today, new intro today. I didn't have time, and when I say I didn't have time, I had tons of time. I just needed to relax and zone out this weekend, and there will be a new intro this week, I promise. Where's your coffee? Did you bring your coffee? Today, we are going to review the Black Widow show. I realized at the top of the show I should announce what we're doing today. Today, we're gonna review Black Widow. The movie, the latest movie from Marvel. Directed by, hey, Jedi Fierce. Hello. Oh, Jen. Jen, welcome. Of course, I watched Black Widow movie with none other than Jedi Fierce. Jen the Fierce, who is out there. Jen and I think we both had a favorable opinion of the outcome of that movie. I found it entertaining. It's directed by Kate Shortland. Well, let me tell you something. I liked the movie. I liked Black Widow. I thought, hey, a female-led superhero movie. How about that? How about the woman who was, hey, Jellybean, welcome. Did you see Black Widow? Because there's going to be spoilers. Maybe we'll do the first part, no spoilers, and then we'll do some spoilers. We were gonna watch it on, we watched it on Saturday. We had a watch party for Black Widow. And let me tell you, female-led superhero movie. It takes the studios longer than it takes the people to realize what's possible. Did they ever see Alien? Did they ever see, I don't know, The Wizard of Oz? Come on now. People just gotta write the story and make the story good. People sit there and go, well, I think the problem is a lot of people, corporate thinking people, corporate minded people at corporations who just look at the dollar signs, they're not scientists. So if they think they can make money, they will try to make money. But if they don't have any proven, in their mind, any proven way to make money off of, say, Black Widow, they don't know. They're like, oh, we don't know if it's a lady. We never did this before. We don't know how. Same thing with Black Panther. They were like, black people in a movie? I don't know if we can make money. We don't know if we can make money. It's an awful lot of black people in that movie. I don't know if you see Black Panther, but almost everybody in that movie's black. I mean, the title's called Black Panther. It's in the name. So all of these studio executives, when Black Panther comes out and it makes all of the money, it literally makes all of the money. Black Panther was like the most highest grossing Marvel movie to date when it came out. And then the studio executives are like, well, we thought that only white guys could make movies that are money-making movies. Maybe we should spend some money on Black Widow. Black Widow's funny because Black Widow's first appearance was in Iron Man 2. Remember that? All the way back when, in like 2010. She was in Iron Man 2, and she was subject to the male gaze in that movie. If you watch that movie, they're like, hey, look at this hot number. And then she's like, I'm not just hot, but I could beat you up. So that was like a big old thing. Joining through Twitter today, but it's okay, cool. Twitter's every single avenue is totally fine here, and it's great to see you here. Thank you, Jellybean. Probably won't watch it for a while. Yeah, watch it when it comes out for free. I think $30 for Disney Plus for the premiere movies is too much dollars. If you count 30, once I count past like $16, $17 for a movie that I'm gonna watch at home on a TV, on a computer, I'm like, I don't know if it's worth 30 of them. I don't know if I should keep. I'm already paying, what is it, $6.99 or whatever for Disney Plus each month. You know, that's like 5 months of Disney Plus. Right out the window. Maybe in 5 months it'll be free. But Black Widow, cool. It was cool. I liked her sister, played by Frances Pugh. Is that her name? Florence Pugh. I said Frances. You know, Florence and the Pughine. Box office, $158 million. Black Widow has made $158 million already, guys. That's pretty great. That's pretty great, even for when it's not like just post-pandemic levels numbers. But I tell you, the movie was fun. It had action. Black Widow, she don't have no superpowers, but she sure is super. You know. There was a picture of Clint Barton in the very post credits. Spoiler alert. There was just a picture of him. So when I saw that picture of Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, aka he's not Hawkeye. What's he played? The Ronin, I think. Saw the picture of him and I said, well, he just got paid a full rate as an actor. If you just appear even in a picture in a movie, you get your full SAG rate. I'm getting a phone call from a 323. Who's calling me at 323? What's going on? I got a message from 323? Who's that 323? Sorry. That's how you... When you see numbers on your phone appear and then you don't know them, you just start talking aloud, going, who this? Who calling me? Why they trying to call me? Why they trying to reach me? I don't know nobody from 323. What? I know a couple people. 323 is a good... That could be my agent. Anyway, the point is, when you get a call from somebody you don't know and you don't recognize the number, you just start saying it out. Why they trying to... Who this? Don't they know I got a show? I'll call them back. I'll call you back. Leave a message. Black Widow. It was fun. It was... I think all of the Marvel movies go from good to great. I don't think there's anything less than good. I mean, maybe Thor the Dark World is aight. It's aight. This is better. Black Widow was better than aight. There was a couple of things that I found questionable in the movie. A couple things where people were like, oh yeah, why don't you just do this? There's certain things that movies do that they have to sort of introduce something new, or they have to do something surprising to you. They have to introduce this idea, and then they're like, how do we... For instance, I'm trying to do this without spoilers, but there's a scene involving smell. And if you could smell something, it's basically the bad guy's like, he who smelled it dealt it. And she's like, but what if I smash my face into a table? You know? I don't think that's the greatest. That was one of the best, like, things to do in a movie. I mean, it feels like... I remember in the movie The Last Boy Scout, there was a scene where they had to use the special talents of Damon Wayans' character, who plays a quarterback, an NFL quarterback, but he already gets shot through the hand. He gets shot through the hand earlier in the movie in The Last Boy Scout. Spoiler alert. And then there's a scene where there's a guy on a horse, there's a cop on a horse, I think, or somebody's gonna try to shoot somebody, and then Damon Wayans is like, wait, I'm a quarterback. Even though they shot me through the hand, I can throw a football and hit the bad guy. And that's basically how they dealt with the bad guy in The Last Boy Scout, is he threw a football.
Hello.
What is that, Cosmo? What is that, Cosmo? What is that, Cosmo? What is that, Cosmo? What is that, Cosmo?
Hello.
Cosmo!
What is that, Cosmo?
Cosmo!
What is that, Cosmo?
Cosmo. I'm Cosmo.
What is that, Cosmo?
Hello.
I'm Cosmo. Game over, man. It's game over.
I meant...
Hello there.
Hey, Cosmo! Welcome to the show. Cosmo, I wish, I forgot. I should have... Listen, I have Disney Plus, and I can have people, if you are friends to the level of me and Cosmo, I could give you my login for Disney Plus, so you can watch it with us. I should have known. Should have watched it. Thank you to my sister Veronica, who bought the movie Black Widow for $30 of them dollars. For $29.99 of those cents. She bought Black Widow for my whole family to watch. Because there's $30 that movie. Hey, what's up, Noel? If you are currently with Raccoon Raiders, I will play this. we had to kill 420 artists for that intro. Sorry. Unfortunately, 420 artists were injured, harmed during the intro, the creation of the intro for that. Welcome, everybody. Hello, Cosmo. Hello, Jellybean. Hello, Nose Dreyer. Hello, Raccoon Raiders, if you are out there. And a shout out to my sister Veronica for getting the movie for 30 of them dollars. We watched Black Widow. Now, Noel, did you watch Black Widow? Who here saw Black Widow? I thought it was good. I thought it was entertaining. I liked a couple things about it, though, and then spoilers might be coming soon. If y'all want to talk about spoilers, but overall, pretty solid. Couple questionable things that happened. Certain things about David Harbour. I have tangential and somewhat personal experience with David Harbour. Not the nicest guy. You know, he found success later in life, and usually when that happens, when you find success later in life, like say Bryan Cranston, you're an okay dude. But sometimes when you find success later in life, you're like, I am the greatest person ever to exist. David Harbour's pretty funny though. He's pretty funny, but he's also, you know, I hear he's a handful. He just married Lily Allen. Woody Allen's sister. Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Black Widow on Rotten Tomatoes. What did it get on Rotten Tomatoes? Let's find out, because that's always the best barometer. It's always interesting how the Rotten Tomatoes reviews get skewed. Because a lot of times ahead of the time, this is the problem, I think, essentially. I like to talk about some social issues and stuff and how people react on the internet, especially to women and people of color. People tend to react negatively on the internet about those things and those realities. And it's fun. It's kind of interesting because you'll see like, oh look, the audience score for Black Widow is 92%. That's pretty good. That's an A-. I would give it a solid A-. It was a fun movie. I liked the characters mostly. I liked the interplay between the characters, and the actors were really good. Florence Pugh, great new addition. She's a new Bobby Brown addition to the MCU.
Here it is, my most likable song ever. Coca-Cola, lipstick ring, go dance all night, kiss me, just kiss me, Nefertiti. Lipstick, kiss me, lipstick ring, oh, that's the way you like it.
This is your most likable song ever?
Yeah.
People will love it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Welcome, Ron. I don't know if Warner Brothers owns Rotten Tomatoes, but even if they did, they would probably even give it less favorable reviews, because Warner Brothers is, of course, the house where DC lives. Lily Allen, the singer. Yes, Jellybean. Lily Allen, the singer. David Harbour and Lily Allen, newlyweds. Weird, huh? You never know. I wrote David Allen. I meant David Harbour, wife. Here's the thing about David Harbour and Lily Allen, is that we don't know what makes people want to get married or be together or whatever. We don't know. It's always easy to be like, why are they together? Come on, Scarlett Johansson, why do you gotta be with Colin Jost? He's not as funny as me. Come on, Colin Jost, really? He just seems like he looks like a boilerplate human. Colin Jost. Colin Jost looks like he walked off the assembly line. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, for your consideration, Scarlett Johansson. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? And that, I put it out there. It's out there. Just for Scarlett to consider before she gets married to Colin Jost. I think they're married already. Hey, good for the Sheriff Hopper. Well, that's the thing. David Harbour and Lily Allen. People might be like, why are they together? I don't approve. But it's none of my business. It's none of your business. Why the heck is Scarlett Johansson with Colin Jost? Because he's a funny guy? Because he's rich and famous? Because he's hilarious and seems like a really nice guy? And is probably just like a cool dude to hang around? So what? You can get that anywhere. Just because Colin Jost is one of the funniest people? Nicest guys? I'm just saying. Just gonna throw my hat into the ring. No, I'm not. That's okay. But, you know, may the best man... May the... I'm just gonna keep going. And Scarlett is pregnant with his weird-looking Staten Island ass. Listen, Uncle Ron. Who are we to judge Staten Island for being a horrible, disgusting, smelly, awful place? Clearly the worst borough of New York City by far. It's where New Jersey and Long Island go to die together. Who are we to judge that? You and me, Ron. Staten Island, which is like hot garbage. It's a hot garbage place, Staten Island. It stinks like dead fish atop hot garbage in July. But who am I to say anything bad about Staten Island being the worst place you could probably ever go? It's only the place you drive through because you need to get to somewhere else. It's just Staten Island. One of the worst places in this realm. In Midgard? It is the Sakaar of Midgard. You get that reference.
I understood that reference.
Human beings, I'm just saying, we cannot judge other people. The heart wants what the heart wants, and Scarlett Johansson wants Colin Jost's sense of humor and charming, boyish looks in her life, and that's all that she wants. Her look. Today's show is dedicated to Staten Island. Let's start a fundraiser for Staten Island. And the fundraiser, the ultimate goal of this fundraiser for Staten Island is to wipe it off the map. We don't need Staten Island. We've already got Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, Manhattan. Everybody forgets about Staten Island for good reason. I can talk this way about Staten Island because I'm from Long Island. And Long Island is as if you gave Staten Island gummy berry juice. So, which is to say that Long Island is Strong Island for about a minute and a half. Compared to Staten Island. Comparing Staten Island to Long Island. Look, we're gonna go on a rant right now. Ron, you started this. You mentioned Staten Island. And suddenly, images and smells have just inundated my brain. What makes Scarlett good enough for him, though? Just her looks? I would like to say, the reason why I'm saying why is Scarlett Johansson with the human thumb Colin Jost, I'm just saying because Scarlett Johansson is so talented. She's an incredible talent to this world. She's a gift. She's had a career that's nearly 20 years, 25 years probably going, and she's only like 26. So the thing is, Scarlett Johansson, I'm saying, is the person who seems like she would be, in my estimation, as an outsider and as a complete numbnuts from Long Island. She seems like she would be the person who is in a league of her own, let's say. But that's all I'm saying. And she happens to be very beautiful. She happens to be a beautiful actress at the same time. But she's legitimately an incredible actor. I don't know if you saw Marriage Story or any of these movies that she's in, but she's just always great. I don't know how she does it. When she was in Endgame and she was eating a sandwich before Scott Lang comes in and says, "Anybody eating this sandwich?" It was hilarious. But when she's gonna eat that sandwich, the corners, I felt for her character. I felt for the Black Widow. I said, uh-oh, this might be it for the Black Widow. If Scarlett is so talented, why isn't she with Michael Che? That's right. Michael Che is truly the prize. You know what the funny thing about Michael Che is they don't make him the head writer of SNL. She's 36. See? The thing about Michael Che is they don't make him the head writer. They make him the co-head writer. Michael Che being a hilarious man. Oh! That's me remembering something right now. He's got a new comedy special. How come I haven't watched it yet? Oh my gosh. That's what I'm doing this afternoon. I'm gonna go running and listen to Michael Che tell jokes. Because Michael Che, in my estimation, is probably one of... Like, he is funnier than Colin Jost, in my opinion. I might be biased because I'm brown. I don't know. But I just think he's funnier because he's edgier. He says things that Colin Jost just can't. And that's why it's always so funny when they read each other's jokes on the air on SNL. It's a great bit where they read each other's jokes. He's the co-head writer with Jost. Yes, this is I know this about Michael Che, but it's frustrating that they don't make him the head writer. It's got to be the first time, I think first time since maybe Seth Meyers, because they had Tina Fey was head writer, and I think Seth Meyers might have been head writer after her. But come on, Michael Che, you know, he's really kind of more in tune with the streets, the jokes. You know, Michael Che paid for the rent for everybody in the building that he grew up at the beginning of the pandemic. He paid for like a month's rent or whatever. Pretty cool. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna pay for my entire building's rent for 1 month. I think Che is way funnier than Jost. Jost is just like the safe guy who's like, hi. Let's just be jealous of Colin Jost today. That's the title of today's show. Why are you jealous of Colin Jost, Ron? I'll tell you why I'm jealous of Colin Jost. We're all just jealous. That's all we're saying. Anyway, getting back to the movie, Black Widow. So much action. The action was cool, except I didn't know. Now, Jen, thank you for clarifying that. Thank you for clarifying that Scarlett Johansson is age appropriate for me to date. Just saying. I'm kidding. I have a lovely girlfriend, Kelsey. I forgot what I was saying. I was just thinking, hey, Kelsey, if you're watching, you should watch Black Widow. It's a good movie. Scarlett, she can finish the book and she works on SNL. And he works on SNL. Yeah, they've got, listen, I can only judge, she was married, she's got another, she's got a baby daddy out there. Who's her baby daddy? Someone married her. I don't know. Why do we care about her personal life? I'm just realizing this is irrelevant to the movie. Florence Pugh, hilarious, great character. I like that she makes fun of Black Widow in this. I like that that they're called Widow agents, actually, because now they're like widows. So her code name is Black Widow. That's interesting. Also, she gets the vest. She gets a vest that we see her wearing in another movie, and now we know why she has that vest. And we're like, oh, I was always wondering where she got that vest from. Now we know. Now we can watch this movie and be like, oh, that's a vest. That's a pretty cool vest. It really completes the ensemble. And now we know why she has the vest. I don't know. I don't have a lovely girlfriend, so Scarlett, hit me up, yo. Well, if I ever run into Scarlett Johansson, I will not mention this episode of Aristotle Full Throttle. I'll probably say, hi. Great. I like superheroes. Can I be Afro Man? I'd like to be Afro Man. and fly. Can I fly? I can fly. What would my superpowers be? If I were to be a superhero, what would I do? Maybe I could have tendrils that come out of my head. I feel like superpowers are just so arbitrary. The thing I love about the X-Men is that the superpowers are kind of arbitrary, you know? But they never show you, like, the misfits, like the people who shouldn't really be there. It's like, I have an excessive amount of mucus. That is my superpower. Watch out, I'll sneeze on you. Or some guy who could just blink really fast. You know? That's their superpower. That's their mutant ability. It's been unlocked. Hey, look out! It just weirds people out. People are like, oh, that guy, he blinks too fast. He blinks a lot. It's an excessive amount of blinking. You ever meet someone who blinks too much? That's a weird thing to say, but I used to know. So let me tell you a story. Story time. I used to have a manager. I used to be in bands. I used to be in a bands. And we used to have these two managers, and their names were Steve. The Steves, we called them. One Steve, nice guy. Seemed pretty nice. Seemed pretty down to earth. One of the Steves. The other Steve, he blinked a lot. That's a nervous tick. I'm not going to shame him for having a nervous tick. I'm just going to say that I felt uncomfortable. Because the guy proved to be a little bit sketchy. You know, you hear those stories about music business people and managers and people in the music business. And this guy was like, I'd like to fulfill every stereotype. I'd like to be a kind of like a guy who blinks too much. He blinks he'd blink very tightly. Like, well, in the middle of talking to him, he'd be like, okay. So I wasn't quite sure how to feel about that. Maybe it was drug-induced blinking. Maybe he was just, that's his mutant ability. My superpower is the ability to make people leave within 5 minutes of meeting me. That's pretty good, Ron. You know, you should go to the Red Square in the Russian Parliament and make everyone leave, and then we will have won the Cold War. Speaking of Russians, so all the Black Widows, the people in the movie. Here's the one thing about movies where people are Russian. Natasha Romanoff, she's Russian. The whole family is Russian. They're Russian operatives. We learned this in the very first couple minutes of the movie, Black Widow. Not really a spoiler if it's just the setup. So, we learned that they're Russian operatives, right? Sometimes they speak English immaculately with no accent. Sometimes they speak Russian to each other. Sometimes they speak in a Russian accent to each other. Now, I'm a little confused about this. This is the Wonder Woman problem. Remember in the movie Wonder Woman 1980? No, just Wonder Woman. Remember she just, she would, not she, but the bad guys, the Germans, would speak in a German accent to each other. I don't know how to do that convention. Like, what are we doing with the convention? Are we speaking German? Are we speaking English to each other as German Nazis? Are we speaking in English but with German accents to each other? So the same thing happens in Black Widow. The characters are speaking to each other. Once they are revealed to be Russian, they will speak like they are Russian. And I'm like, okay, but you can speak English perfectly. So why not just speak English perfectly or speak Russian? Why do you have to speak English with a Russian accent? I don't understand the decision-making process there. But I guess it's to remind us that they're Russian and not confuse us too much by speaking another language and having us read. Because it's too much to read things. In fact, it's so much to read that I was watching Netflix over the weekend, and there was a show that was like, it's one of the new Netflix like murder mysteries. Why did this woman murder her husband and chop him up? those family time stories. And I'm listening to the story, but it's all got subtitles. And Netflix, as you know, needs to be on in the background constantly. You can't watch it. Why would you sit in front of Netflix and watch it and try to read it? That would take up all of your attention. You need to dedicate about 17.5% attention to Netflix, and the shows need to be that diluted that you can absorb everything that's going on just by tangentially watching it in the background. This is how Netflix should function and operate in your lives. So what I'm saying is, the Netflix situation, you can't give me too many you can't give me too many words, closed captioning. So what I did was I turned on the audio description. So now I could hear the people talking in French. I think it was French. No, it was Brazilian. It was Portuguese. So they're speaking Portuguese, and then the words are translated in English on the bottom. But then also there's the audio description of them saying the words that the character's saying, but in English. But the actors aren't good. The ones who just do the audio description are not necessarily actors. They're just kind of reading what's going on. And then they're trying to act a little bit, and it's not that great. So I'm just saying, it was a very convoluted watch of this show, and it felt very strange to try to keep up with what was going on, because every time I would glance over at the closed captioned description, I would hear what they would say, and it was like a different translation than what was being written. So whatever's written is a different translation than what the person is translating orally. Yes, Cosmo McBuds. I use this life hack because my brother is he's legally blind, and ever since I was a kid, we would go to the movies and they would have audio description headsets for blind people to go to the movies. So it's just like an accessibility feature that I've known about. It is a great life hack. It's a great I've known about this since I'm forever. So even at the movie theaters when I was a kid, they'd give you like a radio headset if you are visually impaired, so that you can listen to the audio description of what's going on the screen, because you won't be able to fully see it, what's going on, or see it at all. So that is a good life hack. You know what else I use it for, Cosmo? I use that for when I was catching up on The Expanse. Now, there's so many things going on with the Expanse. So when I was watching The Expanse, I was like, I need to turn the audio description on. So they'd be like, okay, drummer and so are now aboard the MCR, blah, blah, blah. Now we're back aboard the Rocinante with so-and-so and Holden. And Holden speaks to... So the cool thing about it is it tells you the characters' names and it tells you the locations. So then you can become familiar. This would be a great life hack for, say, Game of Thrones. Because Game of Thrones, the first 2 seasons... They introduce so many characters in Game of Thrones. If you haven't seen Game of Thrones, it's just so much information that by the 2nd and 3rd season, they kind of got wise. The writers got wise to how to maintain the importance and significance of certain characters. So when a character showed up, they'd be like, "Hi, I'm Robb Stark. You killed my father, Ned Stark. This is my mom. These are my sisters." They would literally just walk into the room and announce themselves and everything in their entire history, every character, so that you could be kept abreast of what's going on with each character. I found that fascinating. I found that interesting. I found that very deliberate. I was like, the 2nd season, everybody's like, "My name is Jon Snow, and I am from here, and then this is what I do, and and I'm a half brother, and I'm the bastard son of so and so." "Oh yeah? Well, I'm Brienne of Tarth, and I do this, and my mission is to do that." It was actually very helpful that the characters would literally describe why they were there and what they were. They'd state their names and purpose. One of my favorite moments of the entire show was in that last couple seasons where Daenerys says, "I'm Daenerys, mother of dragons, the queen of the Unsullied, and the Dracarys, and all this." And then she goes on. She gets announced for like a minute and a half. They're like, "She is the queen. She is the this. She is the Mets, and she is." And then Jon Snow's right-hand man just goes, This is Jon Snow. It's one of the best moments of the whole show for me. I found that hilarious. I like comedy. Comedy is so funny. That's a quote. That's a direct quote from me. You could write that on your shirt. I love comedy. It's hilarious. It's been helping me learn to describe scenes from... Oh, that's cool. Lurking one, grab Pantera bread sandwich. Pantera bread sandwiches. Get the dime bags bagel. You better get the... you better get the Vinnie Paul cream cheese. I'm just saying... I'm just saying I'm a fan of Pantera. I like Pantera so much. Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them 2 times. I forgot how to play it. Welcome to Short Attention Span Theater. I'm your host, a cat! What do you guys got going on for your Monday? I'm looking for work. I've got some leads going on right now. I got a couple things. Maybe I might be hosting. I'm excited. I'm being submitted for an internal. It's an internal like corporate hosting video. So I've done a few of these actually. You got to learn a lot of jargon. You have to be like, this is the thing, and this is how it works with the upright. So you got to learn a lot of jargon. But maybe I'll get this hosting gig. It's a couple days of work. It's a nice chunk of change. It would pay for my TV. So maybe hopefully I'll get it and get that TV. There's another gig coming up. A friend of mine does comedy. He's gonna shoot a little scene from a comedy movie he's working on, and he asked me to be in it. And so I said, yeah, I'll do it because it sounds like fun, and I like comedy. It's hilarious. You can quote me on that.
Do you want to go to war? Because we could go to war. I'm for real. That's better. Thank you. Thank you.
That is so fetch.
Yeah, I'm excited. Black Widow, A-. Good movie. Yeah. Let's sing his name again. Pantera. What? I can't ever remember. I'll remember his name. Hold on. Let me Google it. They're from Arlington, Texas. I remember, yeah, Damage Plan. You remember Damage Plan, Cosmo? I don't know if you're into heavy metal. But, Phil Anselmo. Why couldn't I remember it? Phil Anselmo. I was listening to Cemetery Gates. Just a few, like last month I was, what's this month? Is it July? Yeah, a month ago. I was in Long Island, I think. On Long Island. And I was listening to Cemetery Gates. And I was like, wow, Phil Anselmo could really scream high pitch. He could really sing real high. Real high in the air. He would,
Number one, I want the movie to end with a big explosion. Sky full of smoke.
I want the show to end with a big explosion, sky full of smoke. I think it will. What else?
The Force will be with you, always.
Let's see. Any other thoughts on Black Widow? I'll do some spoilers now. I don't like that she just decided to break her face open for no reason. I did like that I realized later it didn't make much sense that she switched identities with her mom's. Because I was just like, why did we do that? Let's see. The training video. Okay, cool. Well, I didn't think that was the smartest move. I didn't. Story-wise, it was just okay. That doesn't make any sense. Why don't she just? Because here was the thing: the guy who played Dreykov, the bad guy, he was just like a slimy, like Harvey Weinstein vibes type of guy. And I mean, I think that was no mistake. I think that they really wanted to show the power dynamic and the power differential of slimy, powerful dudes who are gross because they're just gross people. And so they had that like power dynamic shift, and it was kind of like a nice comeuppance for that guy, in a way. But also, I would say, I have a little bit of disappointment for the Taskmaster character. I thought that they were going to be really formidable. I like that they had the shield and they copied like Captain America's moves and stuff. But however, it didn't really, like Taskmaster didn't really demonstrate like perfect absolute memory and mimicry. I wanted to see a little bit more of that, like very specifically. I wanted to see Taskmaster fight somebody and then acquire their fighting technique in the middle of the fight and then use it against the person. I didn't really see that, and that was like kind of the whole point of having a character like that, just for the trick of it, just for the fun of that, to be like, oh look, this person can figure you out real quick and then beat you. I think they might have done that, sort of, but they didn't really overtly demonstrate that thing. The dude named Mason in this movie, the character named Mason, was really like the Lucius Fox of the group, a young Lucius Fox who got friend-zoned. This is Scarlet. You're friend-zoning people left and right. But he got friend-zoned in the movie. Thought that was interesting. Jen and I were talking to whether or not the movie passed the Bechdel test, and I was like, yes, I think it does. However, I wonder if the scenes where Yelena and Black Widow are talking, if they're talking about their dad. Because then it doesn't pass the Bechdel test. Because if they're like, we're fighting, but we're fighting over our dad, then you're like, why? The Bechdel test is whether or not two female characters ever talk to one another like in their own scenes, and if what they are talking about is something other than the lead male actor. That's always an interesting test for movies, because there's a lot of movies out there, most of them in fact, where two female characters, when they're talking in their own scene, and the main guy character isn't there, they're just talking about the main guy character. Because most movies, let's face it, are written by dudes. And dudes suddenly assume that all of the female characters are only ever thinking and talking about them. Am I right, Scarlett? I'm just saying that this is a phenomenon, mostly in movies that you see, the movies that we all know. So we need to have more perspectives. We need to have more stories to tell. Because honestly, a lot of the MCU movies are starting to, they were kind of formulaic in the beginning. They had their own formula, but now they're following their own formula so closely that we need to start breaking up these stories into different types of stories. Oops, I skipped the song. So we need some more perspectives, more stories, and more female-led characters. I don't know, when people are like. So when I'm watching this movie, right, I can definitely sense the internet getting all upset, because they're like, where are the boy characters, And the dad character is kind of like Homer Simpson, the Crimson Guard or whatever. He's kind of like a Homer Simpson type character, and you're like, yeah, it's hilarious. He's such a dope. But I just feel like so much of the internet getting upset about that, and I don't care. I'm glad, actually. People need to feel uncomfortable about, because, you know, the internet is just a bunch of, like, dudes crying about, you know, I don't know. A lot of dudes on the internet crying about the fact that women exist in one way or another. A lot of dudes saying that, hey, Scarlett Johansson, just saying, consider maybe grabbing a coffee sometime. You know, there's a lot of dudes like that. Where, like, why would I get mad that... Let's bring it back to Scarlett Johansson. It's like, why am I upset that she has found her happiness with Staten Island's very own Colin Jost? Why would I be upset by that? What makes me think that that I would have anything better to offer her? I'm just saying, a large, luxurious fro. That's something that Colin Jost doesn't have. But at the same time, you know, you shouldn't measure your own value against wildly successful individuals. Here's the thing. People who are wildly successful versus people who are moderately successful versus people who are unsuccessful, there's a very fine line. Because there are people who are incredibly talented and unsuccessful. Let's watch the movie Prestige together in our minds. The character played by Christian Bale was wildly talented, yet unsuccessful. The character played by huge actor man, the character played by him, Rupert, or I forget in the movie, it might be a different name, because I read the book too. His character is not as talented, but hugely successful. And the reason is, generally speaking, is that people who are hugely successful just think they should be. They're like, I deserve this. And it's not always true that you get what you deserve. It's not always true. There are people, life is unfair. I'm here to tell you that. But here's why it's unfair. Because a lot of times people are hugely talented and not successful, and there are a lot of times people who are hugely successful and not talented at all. You know what I mean? But, you know, there are people who just say, I deserve to be here, and that's why I'm here. Because there's no other reason I shouldn't be. So I'm just saying, adopt that point of view. If you feel like you need to maybe move up in your station in life, just say, hey, look, maybe I deserve more than I'm getting. You definitely don't deserve less. I'm just saying. Unless you're Colin Jost. I mean, what did that guy ever do? What, did he go to Harvard? I don't have a chip on my shoulder. I mean, there's so many incredibly famous, untalented people out there. I remember, what was that guy? McMurray, Mark David Murray, Ralph McMurray, actor named Murray. What's his name? Kevin Michael Murray, Michael Scott Murray. I'm gonna just say a bunch of different names, and eventually I'll get to it. There's this actor, he's just so terrible. It's Chad Michael Murray, I think his name is. Thank you. Here we go. Chad Michael Murray. I think that's the actor I'm talking about. Listen, Chad Michael Murray. I feel like you fell on your head at some point. I'm not gonna judge you. You're a very handsome man. You're a very successful man. But the acting thing, you know, I'm just saying that people feel like they could make money off of you, so they did. And then you probably went all around going, I deserve all this. See, there are people in this world who probably go around thinking there are people who were born on third base and thought they hit a triple or whatever. I forget how that saying goes. Born on third base and thought you hit a home run? I don't know how that goes. For the training video. Okay, I'm gonna... email them. Looking for work, ladies and gentlemen. Looking for work. And by doing so, I'm disparaging very successful, famous people. That's how you look for work in this town. That's the best way to do it. I'll tell you one thing. I cannot it's hard for me to play the game sometimes. There's so many times I go to like a casting or something, and then there's people they're like, "Hi, how are you? I'm so excited to see you." Ah! And I'm like, I don't know. And me, I'm like this. Hi, I don't know how to be disingenuous. I'm not this excited to see. I'm kind of like, hey. That's my level of excitement to see people usually. Like, oh hey, what's up? It's never necessarily like, unless it's like a long lost relative, it's not, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. I witness this a lot. There are so many people that are massively affected by, it's like a little extra. It's a little extra. I will give you the appropriate level. I will give you the exact level of excitement that I'm feeling if I haven't seen you in 3 weeks. There are some people who will always be so excited their face melts off when they see people. And I don't know how to do it. I don't have that kind of energy inside me. Not always, anyway. Not unless I had a huge cup of coffee. Snakes! All right. Well, I think we did it, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry there's no intro for today. Just trying to gather up my life right now. Figuring out a new trajectory. It was a crazy last few months. From basically March, April, May, June. So that's a third of the year. Was like kind of busy with work, which is good, and travel. But now July has been a very sedentary month. For good, for better, and for worse. Because now I'm like, oh, what the heck am I gonna do? But on the other hand, I'm like, well, I might as well be chill while the chill is getting good. Because things start to pick up and then you're just constantly busy going, I wish I had a minute. So right now, I'm enjoying the minutes. And I hope you guys are enjoying your minutes too. Tomorrow is Tuesday on Aristotle Throne. What do we do Tuesday? Tuesday can't lose day. Thank you for joining me for the lunch hour. I hope you got your Pantera bread. I hope that you walk your Pantera bread. I hope that there's a planet caravan of bread in your Pantera bread. Ron, thank you for reminding us all that Staten Island is... I wouldn't even say it's hell on earth, because hell on earth seems like it's got like comfy... Seems like it's got like a comfortable... eternal torture. Staten Island has an uncomfortable, eternal torture. Of course, until you leave. Best thing to do when you get to Staten Island is leave. Just ask anyone from Staten Island. I was watching The King of Staten Island, and boy oh boy do they get it right. I was actually really... Because the director, Judd Apatow, is from Glen Cove, Long Island. None other than Judd Apatow from Glen Cove, Long Island. So, Judd Apatow, I have full trust. I mean, even after I watched the first half of The King of Staten Island with Pete Davidson, and it's good. Like, they really nail that area of the world as far as the accent and their attitude. So if you want a little taste, a little sliver, if you want a little sliver of Long Island and Staten Island, you can just watch The King of Staten Island. It's really good. Oh my God, it's got bagels. It's really good. I'm a fan so far. I gotta start it over and watch it again. It's heartfelt. It got a little too much. I was tired. I didn't finish it yet, but I was enjoying that Marissa Tomei and all the actors and Bill Burr. They all feel very genuine and authentic in that movie. So if you want to see what I'm talking about Staten Island / Long Island / New Jersey, watch The King of Staten Island. It's pretty accurate, the way that people talk to each other and behave.
Impressive. Most impressive.
My experts tell me it's a pyramid. Thank you.
I understood that reference.
I could do this all day.
Level up, level up, level up, level up, level up.
Another one.
We did it.
Another one.
Another one in the book.
Another one.
I'm very excited.
Another one.
To have
Another
this
one.
show
Another one.
every day, almost for a year, almost every day for a year and a half. The live stream. It's kind of crazy because I was like, you know, what did I do? Bo Burnham made the craziest, most excellent special on Netflix, and I'm like, what did I do during the pandemic? And I'm like, oh, I made a living journal of the pandemic. I have a living documented journal of the last year and a half. So if anyone ever asks me, what did I do during the pandemic? What did I do during lockdown? You can literally watch this last year and a half. And I was like, wow, there's something to be said for that. I don't know what it is yet.
Wait for it.
Flawless victory.
I'd like to say that I'm pretty excited that there is like a living testimonial to what it was like to live during this lockdown, and I would like to consider my lockdown legacy, the Aristotle Full Throttle Show. This is the beginning of the second half of my career. The second half. This is the beginning of the first half of the initial part of the beginning of my start of a career. And thank you for being here for it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun ride. It's gonna be fun, I promise.
I like your plan, except it sucks, so let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
Enjoy your sandwiches, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the sun. Go out. See your friends. See your friends and your family and your parents and your uncles and your brothers and your sisters and your enemies. Your enemy's enemies also could be your enemy. Just watch out. It's not always your friend. I'm Aristotle Full Throttle. Your bro with the fro. Yo. And I'll see you tomorrow.